quick experiment on this car because I get the feeling this car has more problems than what I've just addressed. So let's try this. I'm going to put the camera here, out here. Okay, this is the muffler. Start it up. Okay, so that's car number 2. So, this car's been reported as very smoky, very dusty, or smelly to drive. Not a lot of exhaust comes out the back. Not much exhaust comes out at all. And what my thought is I get the feeling the cat is blocked. I can hear something rattling around when the car starts and stops, so it could actually be the muffler. So let's go swap that out. Okay, so we are just on the way to drop the car off. I've got a muffler shop. I've spoken to him. Everybody seems to be charging a lot of money. Everything's $1,000 these days for everything. So I'm basically just after an aftermarket cat and a bit of flexible exhaust to be put on this car. Well, not this car, the other car that's behind me. I do think the muffler is blocked to some extent. We did a little test there and you could see some of it coming out, but the driver has reported it's smelly, and one of the signs of a blocked catalytic converter is that it smells of sulfur. So I get the feeling that a lot of the fumes and all are coming out, you know, in the front or wherever they can. With the original motor, it blew an injector, so obviously that's a lot of pressure that, you know, should be going out the muffler, but it's gone up and it's done the injector. So that's one of the reasons. 2 is the smell. 3 is the rattle, because there's a rattle, and that's also a good sign of a faulty or failing catalytic converter. 4th is it's done 250,000 k's, never been replaced. I've taken it to 3 different mechanics for the smell and all that sort of stuff, and none of them have suggested a muffler or catalytic converter, but it just makes sense. It honestly just makes sense that our problems could be coming from there, such as smell and sound. Well, sound's okay actually, but smell and soot. The 5th reason I reckon it could be the cat is that when I did a decarbonate clean on it and I sprayed cleaner down the air intake, on any other vehicle, a whole heap of black shit comes out the exhaust. Not that one. Nothing was coming out the exhaust. No, well, a little bit, but there was no big black huge amounts of smoke coming out the exhaust. So that was another thing that just kind of led me towards thinking, well, you know, there's something going on with that catalytic, well, it's not the muffler, it's the catalytic converter, which is part of the muffler. You know, where was all that black soot going? I believe it was going into the motor. I mean, if that exhaust is blocked, you think about it, the only way out is the turbo, because the turbo is taking some of the exhaust gases, so that's recycling, you know, it's probably taken too much, and it's recycling upon recycled exhaust, so it's going to get very sooty, you know, so which means that turbo as well probably needs a good clean. That whole motor is going to need a real good clean. Like, I'm going to have to do the air intake, chemical clean the oil. I already cleaned out the intercooler, that wasn't too bad. My mechanic who put the motor in also said that he found some oil in the EGR pipe. So that's interesting as well. And also the first motor had a blown EGR pipe, which sits at the back of the motor, which is engine recirculation gas, some environmental thing to make it environmentally more friendly. So it had a popped pipe, that's pretty common, but he found a bit of oil in there. So, you know, these are all telltale signs of something not quite right. So I'm leaning towards, I'm going to try the muffler now. I haven't taken off the EGR pipe because that's been replaced. The whole EGR has been replaced. The motor's been replaced, turbo's been replaced, alternator's been replaced, air conditioning pump's been replaced, clutch has been replaced about a year or two back. So the muffler, we're gonna replace that today. And then I'm going to, hopefully it'll be good and everything will be coming out the back of it. Then I'm going to do a carbon clean, and I should be seeing a whole heap of black stuff come out of the back of it. And if I do, that'd be great. And we'll see how it goes. Alright, so we are just leaving the exhaust shop now. And I had a look at the old Cat. So there's the van in front. I had a look at the old Cat, and it was chocked. It was absolutely chocked. I asked him how chocked it was, and he says, oh, it's up there. I said, what, 80, 90? And he goes, yeah. I also asked him, do you think that could be the reason for the, exhaust smells and all the rest coming from around the front? And he says, yeah. So for the money, $660, we put a new Cat in there. So this is a 2012 model, so it has a Cat. If you have the muffler underneath the driver's seat and it's got more pipes coming in and out, it's a, what do they call it? Diesel particulate filter, way more expensive. So $660, I thought we got off pretty lightly. Now I'm just looking at the bottom of the car because when it takes off, I want to see smoke come out the back. Yeah, look at that, black gold dust coming out. Anything better than a big graphite. All right, so we've got exhaust coming out the back. Not too much, not too little, but I can clearly see it coming out the back. As where before when we did the run test and I gave it a bit of a squirt, you couldn't really see much coming out the back. So now you can, which is good. Once we get it back, I'm going to do the same test and see if we can get, see if we can see more soot kind of coming out than we did the first time round. And fingers crossed, I think today I might have actually solved the problem with what seems to be fumey, as it being fumey, because that's what the problem was. It was said to be fumey, and just when we had it in the workshop, it felt fumey. I had it running there and it felt fumey, like it was exhaust. So we've done a lot of things to try and get rid of that. The last muffler shop guy, he added a little extension. We've taken it to 3 mechanics. They said smells fine. One guy said smells fine. Couldn't tell me what it. Another one said couldn't tell me what it was. Third one says take it back to the other guy. They'd be able to work it out. So pretty much passed the buck around and around and around. We went as far as putting in a cargo barrier, and then I also went as far as putting on an air scoop on the top of the vehicle, which you can see up there. And what that does is that air comes in from the front and creates a vacuum inside the vehicle. So anything in the vehicle, it will be a sucking motion. So when you open your front passenger window, there should be a negative pressure in the vehicle, and it'll be sucking any fumes in the back or in the cabin out, and it should be fresh air. All right, let's get it home and see how we go. I think we might have nailed it this time. Okay, so test number 2. So as you can see, the smoke level's about the same. Time will only really tell if we've solved the problem. We did replace the flexible pipe too, which could have been causing the smell around the driver's seat. So hopefully we've done the car some good. Leave your comments down below, and thanks for watching.